Hey YouTube, Nickel and Diamond here again. I wanted to let you know a little bit of an update on what's going on. So the Miata is now sold. I'm going to try and wrap up some of the rest of the videos that I still have for that. I still got a couple things that I was starting to do on that didn't get completed. Obviously I didn't get the turbo build completed, but the car did go to somebody who appreciates all of the work that was done to it and appreciated all of the little aerodynamic stuff I was playing with. So that was someone who I think is going to take care of the car and hopefully be able to get the car out on the track, which is something that I never really got a chance to do. So I think it's going to go to a good owner and live on. I've now got a little bit more freedom in my schedule. I've got through kind of a major life event, so I'll be able to focus a little bit more on the content. So I'm not going to do everything on the channel vlog style or anything crazy like that, but just wanted to give you guys an update. So I'm going to be able to start putting up some of the videos now on my new project. The title of that one is going to be Project Humblebee, standing for Humble Beginnings. So it's something that is kind of a poorly known car to the car world, I guess, and it's really kind of interesting to me because where I'm most passionate is in the car world is taking some of the oddball cars that people either just don't know about or don't know existed. Maybe they were out of people's price range, like this particular one probably was at its time. I think when these were new, or this one specifically in 1995, this was probably a sticker just over $40,000, which was the kind of money that you could get into a Porsche at the time for. So a lot of people would look at you and go, well, I guess I'll give away the brand of it. It's a Lincoln. So a lot of people would wonder why on earth you were going to buy a Lincoln for an old grandpa car over something like a Porsche. Well, there are a few reasons why it's actually a really interesting vehicle, and this particular vehicle is one that was used partially as a test car to develop what ultimately became the 99 and 01 Cobra, and then was further developed with the supercharger setup into the 0304 Cobra. So this car literally was one of the test platforms for the technology that went into that, even down to the ABS-based traction control system. So there's a lot of really cool tech in this car. I've been slowly trying to work through it and figure out which modules of mine are all working, and so far most of them are actually working, and I've got it now not quite up to drivable spec, but we're slowly making some good progress. I've got it running reliably with temperature control now. So there's a lot of little videos that I'm going to put out on doing this, and this whole series is going to be about how to take $1,000 or somewhere thereabouts, some kind of a really cheap sort of ratty Craigslist car, and how to make it drive reliably and safely for you and the family. So there's a lot of people now that are really fed up with the whole debt thing. I include myself in that group, and there's a lot of people that are trying to make changes in terms of how they do stuff, how they deal with money, how they deal with cars. We were talking about trading in my wife's car for something smaller and cheaper, and what they were ultimately going to do at the dealer is they sat us down and they made us a really awful offer on her car, and then decided, well, since this is your car payment, we can actually drop it down to this, and with all this other money you'll save, you'll be in really good shape. So they were going to double the length of the financing we had remaining on the car and end up essentially saving us about $100 a month. But doing that at the expense of adding on about 4 years to the payments that we already have, and that's stupid. They sit you down at the dealership and they talk about your car payment as if it's some kind of a medical condition, but then they take you back into the little room and they tell you, oh, well, we can do this summer special where you're free from your payment for 90 days, like they're giving you time off of a jail sentence. Like, really? Is that the kind of language you have to use to incentivize me to buy a new car? Well, okay, I understand where that works for the emotional appeal, but really? That's how we're going to do things now? So I've really had kind of a big fundamental shift in terms of what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, and I'm sure a number of people are going to want to point out the fact that, well, you're driving a pretty new truck, like, what's up with that? Well, this is actually paid for. So I worked very hard to make sure that I could pay this off, and I have no payments on this. And the new car I paid for in cash, didn't use PayPal credit or some other thing that people are doing with trying to buy these crazy Craigslist cars. So I'm changing the way I'm dealing with money and changing the way that I'm going to deal with project cars, and this is one that I'm really excited about. So I get a chance to take a car that was literally just a trashed out ashtray with seat belts eaten by a dog. Yes, you heard that right. The seat belts had been eaten by a dog. Just all kinds of ridiculous things that you can only find in Craigslist cars. So I'm going to be repairing and fixing and replacing and upgrading. I'm going to do a lot in terms of the interior. I'm going to completely respray the interior with color matched dyes to the original colors, so that I'm kind of doing a restoration, but in other ways I'm going to be trying to upgrade the car to where it will comply with more modern specs for utility. So upgrading the radio and taking advantage of some of the pieces of the factory built-in phone systems for Bluetooth stuff, and there's just a whole bunch of different factors that are going to go into building this car. So I'm really excited about it, and I just wanted to give you guys an update while I had a little time on my commute here, and I'll probably periodically do some update or some planning or kind of philosophy type videos in this format. Probably only 3 people will watch it, but hopefully they'll be helpful and insightful on what I'm doing and why. Catch you later.